2.3, solving problems involving credit. So in this section, it's problem solving. It's maybe given two options or given different scenarios and finding the best thing involved with credit. Okay. Here we have two people, Merle and Kyle. They're buying furniture worth $1,075 on credit. They can make monthly payments of $75 and have two credit options. Which should they choose? Option A, credit card. So right away I see the word credit card. I know I'm going to go on the course and I'm going to click on the link to the credit card calculator. Okay? Every time we use the credit card calculator, remember it's not the same one they use to get the answer key, so we're going to be slightly off. Okay, it's offering a $100 rebate off the purchase price and an interest rate of 18.7 compounded daily. So the compounded daily is taken care of. $100 off. So instead of paying $1,075, they're only going to start with having to pay off $975 because they got that $100 rebate. Okay, so let's put this all into our, remember $75, 18.7. Let's put this in our credit card calculator. Okay, so the amount they have to pay is $975. Their interest was 18.7, and they can pay $75 a month. Okay, so it looks like it's going to take them a year and 3 months, and they're going to pay $123 in interest. Let's look what the question asked again. So they said, which option should they choose? So option number 1, they're paying $975 plus $123 interest for a total of $1,098. That's option A. Now let's look at option B. A new bank credit card, which has an interest rate of 15.4 compounded daily, but no interest for the first year. So that first year, they're going to make $75 a month for a year. They're going to pay that much. Okay, so let's see what that is. We need a calculator. Or we could do it in our head. We could say 75 times 10 is 750 plus another 150 because 2 more 75. So 750 plus another 150 is 900. Let's just do that in our heads. That's much easier. $900, okay, plus then they have to start paying interest the next year. So the next year they're going to still owe another $175, right? Okay, so that's first year. Their second year, they owe $175, and it's a credit card. So we're going to get our credit card calculator out again. They owe $175. They can pay $75 a year, and it's 15.4%. Okay, so let's do all that in. So they owe $1.75. Their interest was 15.4. I have a bad memory. You guys have never noticed yet. And their monthly payment is that. So they're going to pay $4 in interest, and it's going to take them 3 months. Okay, so they're going to pay $179. Oops. They're going to pay, come on, close. Sorry, guys. They're going to pay $179 worth of interest. That's what they're going to pay. So total in option B is $900, so that's $1,079. So their cheaper option is option B. Okay, let's look at the next one, the next problem we need to solve. He wants to buy a car and needs to use credit to finance it. The cost with taxes and shipping is $24,738. He wants to repay his loan in 4 years using monthly payments and has 2 credit options. His secured line of credit at 1.7%, compounded monthly above the Bank of Canada rate, which is 0.5%, or the dealership's financing plan at 2.5% compounded daily. Okay? Which option should he choose and why? Suppose, and then we're going to do some other options. Okay, so what we want to know is which option he should choose. So his car is 24,738. We're going to use a financial calculator for this one. Okay, so I'm going to go on the course and I'm going to click on my financial calculator. Okay, we know that his present value is 2,400. We said that his present value was 24,000. I'm just getting this in front of me. $24,738. Okay? Okay. In the question, it also said that we don't know how much he's going to pay. We know that he pays 12 times a year and it's going to be 48 years. So, or sorry, 4 years. So that's 48 payments. We know that we want his future value to be 0. We want him to pay the whole thing off. The compounding frequency is 12 times a year, monthly. He's going to make monthly payments. And it also gave us the percentage. It said that it was 1.7% above 0.5%, so that is 2.2. We added those together. Okay? And we are going to solve for how much he pays. So he needs to pay $538 per month. Okay? That was the first. 538.86. Whoops. 538. Oh dear. And some change. Okay. The dealer is 2.5% compounded daily. Okay. So when we have compounded daily, we are unable to use our financial calculator. Okay, so whenever you get questions that say compounded daily and they're not credit cards, we can't use the financial calculator. So I'm just going to look at what they did. They used their calculator on their calculator. So they said the present value, they said it's 12 times per year, and again 48 annual interest rate, but they could choose 365. They found it to be $542. So obviously more. So you are going to go with the line of credit. Okay, so this is very important. If any of the questions I gave you say compound daily and it's not a credit card, we can't do them with a financial calculator. You just need to skip that. Okay, so in case I accidentally picked some. Okay, let's try the next question. John's car insurance payment is due. He does not have enough cash to make the payment, so he's considering these two options. First of all, he could borrow the money from a payday loan company for a $100 fee if it's paid back. Okay, so in order to pay it back, it's going to cost him $100 plus in 2 months he's going to pay back $400. So the total cost of that, the $475 rather, is going to be $575 it costs to do this option. Okay? The other option is he could get a cash advance on his credit card, which is carrying a 0 balance. The interest on cash advances is 19.99 compounded daily and takes effect. He can afford to pay $5 after the first month and then plans to pay off the balance in full at the end of the second month. Okay, so what that looks like, month 1, we're going to go A equals P1 plus IN, compound interest. Okay, so after the first month, it's going to be 475 times 1 plus his interest rate, which was 19.99%, divided by 365 compounded daily, okay, times 365 over 12. Okay, and when you figure this out, it's 482.98. Okay, so that's his first month. Now his second month, he pays off $5. Okay, so look what that does. We go 482,976. We subtract the $5 he pays, his minimum payment. Okay, then we go 1 plus 0.1999 over 365 to the power of 365 to the power divided by 12. Okay. This works out to be 486,003. Okay? The difference between these two numbers is $11 and change. Okay? So in order to do the line of credit, it cost him $11. In order to do the payment advance, it cost him, or sorry, the payday loan, it cost him $100. So it's obvious that the second option was much cheaper. It only cost him $11 to do that. Okay? So when you attack these problems, you're going to have to use all of the tools that we used. The credit card, the financial calculator, and you may have to use formulas that we've learned before. Okay? A good thing when you tackle any question is to find a question similar in the examples. There's 6 really great examples in your textbook. Each show a different type of problem. So at the very top it says, this is solving a problem that involves interest, amount, and rate. So look at the question you're doing. What does it require you to do? Okay. Some key ideas. Forms of credit that can be used to make purchases or acquire cash include bank loans, lines of credit cards, payday loans, and dealership or in-store financing. There are many factors that determine the best option, such as the interest, the total payment, the amount, and the length of time. All of these factors must be considered. Credit cards have a credit limit, which is the maximum amount you can borrow. The credit limit varies from person to person based on credit history. So just a story, when I finished university, all of a sudden my credit card company sent me a letter and said that my credit card limit could go from $1,000 to $2,000. Why? Because now I was making money instead of owing money. Okay, so depending on your situation, they're going to change your credit limit. Cash advances on some credit cards have no period in which no interest is charged and sometimes have a greater interest rate than purchases. So when you take out money with your credit card, you may be charged interest immediately. A line of credit has a lower interest rate than most loans. Because of this, a line of credit can be useful for consolidating debt. So consolidating debt is if you owe money to a lot of people, you can consolidate it into one line of credit. As with a credit card, a line of credit allows for flexibility in how the loan is paid back, as long as a minimum payment is made. The minimum payment is often based on the accumulated interest each month. Credit that is offered in conjunction with a special offer or promotion must be considered very carefully. There may be conditions for how the loan is paid back, which may result in unexpected costs or penalties. Payday loans must also be considered carefully since the fee for borrowing is often high. And we saw that. It cost us $100 to get a payday loan versus $11 the other option. An amortization table is particularly useful when you need to know interim values and when payment amounts or interest rates vary throughout the term of the loan. And an example of an amortization table, of course, is in your course. If it will go back, you have an example right down here. Okay, so you can just change, you can click on that and then go in and change the values. Okay, so getting to use Excel. You might have to change the interest amount, the compounding period, all of those sorts of things. So being familiar with that is important.